KSFR, Koffin Radio.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Koffin Radio. I am Heartthrob Rob. Today we are watching MLW Fightland. The bio here reads, big fights and big stories featuring World Heavyweight Champion Jacob Fatu versus National Champion Alex Hammerstone, and investigative reports on the world of wrestling. I'm excited, man. It's good to see MLW on a network such as Vice TV. They had previously been on, but they were showing specials that were literally like a year old. So they had like 6 to 8 episodes or whatever it was on MLW on Vice TV earlier this year. I watched them; they were good, but knowing that they were like a year old kind of was bugging me. They had like Karrion Kross on an episode, which is cool to see, but you knew that these people had already moved on and had been, things had changed in a year. So that kind of bugged me. But, it was MLW's brand new show. I mean, this show was just literally Saturday, so it's been 6 days, 5 days, whatever it might have been since then. And here we are. We get to see a brand new, fresh match versus Jacob Fatu, who I think is one of the biggest, best heels out right now. And Alexander Hammerstone, guy in his early 20s who's really tearing it up. He's got a great look, good size, can talk, and they go out here and have this match. But, before we get to that, we'll talk about what I thought about the card overall. You only get our special, and you're only getting 2 matches here, but you are getting two championship matches. You're getting the middleweight champion, and then you get Jacob Fatu, which is the heavyweight champion versus the national champion. So apparently there's a lot of championships going on here. So it's almost like they have like a cruiserweight, which is the middleweight, and then the open championship, and then obviously the heavyweight of Jacob Fatu. I think a couple things here. I know it's not my fucking TV, but they had a lot of things that were like missed. Guys would hit people on the corners and they would miss it. I felt like that happened quite a few times on this channel, or on this special here, where we miss big moves. I miss a guy jumping over. You miss a guy hitting a guy with the kick at the end. That kind of production bugged me. This right when they start, there's some audio problems a little bit in the beginning. I feel like you had a few days to fix this, right? It's kind of hard to hear the announcer guy. The announcing was probably the worst thing about this whole thing. The announcer should treat it like we have never heard this before. We should act like we have never seen your product. Here you are coming after Dark Side of the Ring. You should act like we've never seen any of these people. Because, we start off, and it's a middleweight championship match. Myron Reed, who I'm aware of, Tajiri, who I'm also aware of, versus Aris and Aramis. Hard to kind of tell those dudes apart. They're a little bit unknown, Aris and Aramis. They don't even announce the other two. They say Myron Reed. They have Tajiri's name is at the bottom, but they don't even say this is Aramis and Aries. They should be talking about these people like we have never heard of them. Tell me the story. Oh, this guy's from Mexico. He's been tearing it up and he wants to do this and that. Like, pretend like we don't know, because I don't know who the fuck these guys are. I know the other two, but I don't know these other two dudes. Tajiri hits a tarantula, so kind of a little bit of no selling on this 4-way match. They fuck up a Spanish fly. But in the end, Tajiri wins the MLW World Middleweight Champion. It's a good finish. The match was okay, but again, they're coming from the ECW arena, so the crowd is hot. They're at 2300 arena. It's got to see Tajiri get the win. It's a good finish, like I said, but act like we don't know. Tell the whole story. I think that would have made this match a little bit better. It was a good match, but there was a decent match. Could have been a lot better, with some announcing that I think could have worked here. Next, we get a vignette of the Black Hand, who's a man in Contra Unit. The promo looks good. Whoever does their digital stuff looks great for all the Contra Unit stuff. And he's looking for Hammerstone, this bad guy. Next, we get MLW's newest part of their show called Embedded with Alicia Toot. I know Alicia, is kind of famous in MLW and all the things she's doing. Good for her. She's great. I love the way she talks. She knows what she's doing. She's good. I don't like that last name, Atut. Gotta fix that. Alicia something or other. Get yourself a Mexican last name. I think that would switch it up, or I don't know if you're white or whatever. I'm not trying to be racist. I just think Atut didn't work for me. Get something that'll roll off your tongue and be cool and make me want to fucking, on some April O'Neil shit or whatever, I just didn't think the name works for me. I know that's weird, but that's what I'm thinking as I'm watching a show. You understand what I'm saying? Wink, wink. We're watching a show here. But they talk about this crazy stuff. She also brings off Raj Giri, Andreas Heel, Emilio Sparks, and Dave Meltzer. And they talk about, do you think WWE is for sale? Who will join AEW next? So they talk about WWE for sale. Some people think they do. Some people think they don't. I think they might be. Maybe at least when Vince dies, I think they might do that. They think they ask who will join AEW next. They think maybe Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. This part blew my mind. I mean, those discussions are cool. You got 1 hour on this fucking channel to do whatever you want, to play whatever you want. And you're talking about another product, 2 other products. You're talking about WWE and AEW. I didn't think that was the smartest move I've ever heard in my entire life. It was good discussions, don't get me wrong. I'd love to hear it. I'm glad she's bringing that little spin. With your 1 hour that you get on national television, I don't know if I would have been talking about WWE or AEW. Maybe I'm fucking dead wrong. Maybe that's going to set the internet on a buzz where, hey, look at these motherfuckers are talking about it. Because that's what we do as wrestling fans. I mean, we sit around the table and we go, yo, what do you think? You think Sammy's going to go? What do you think about Kevin Owens? I get it. I just didn't know if that was the best idea when you get here and there's only 2 matches and then this middle segment here. So I don't know about that. But she does announce that Will Ospreay is joining MLW in the fall. That's when he'll make his debut. He's the real IWGP champion. But he's going to be coming over here, and they want him to fight Myron Reed. That seems like what's going on. So we'll have to see what that's about. Next, we see the Black Hand in the Contra unit versus the rest of the locker room. Cool little vignette. Next, we find out it's Alexander Hammerstone, who was the open weight champion, versus Jacob Fatu. Alexander Hammerstone, 254 pounds, coming out of Phoenix. They have a good vignette beforehand showing all the champions, by the way. It's a no DQ match. I don't know if I would have liked that. Jacob Fatu, 280 pounds. Joseph is great. He's got the curled toe shoes. That's fucking great. They're both in great, incredible shape. They look like monsters. I think it's kind of funny they don't bring up Jacob Fatu's heritage. I would be referencing that he's from a famous wrestling family. He's he's the Tongan kid's son. I would bring his heritage. We know who he's also related to. He's part of the Anoa'i family. I would bring that up. I don't know about anybody else. They do a lot of crazy stuff here. These are 2 big dudes. I don't know if I would have had them doing as much as they do. I mean, they do a moonsault off of the thing. And I know it's Jacob's fucking move, but I think that he kind of does it pretty early on in the beginning, right off the guardrail. I would have slowed it down. I would have slowed this match down a lot. I mean, Jacob Fatu gives Alexander Hammerstone a pile driver on the ring apron. The commentators are not doing any favors, not really putting anything over as much as I would. I mean, these are 2 fucking big, badass, giant Goliath motherfuckers beating the crap out of each other. And we're acting like, oh man, look at these dudes having a fight. The commentating just does not work for me at all. Hammerstone does a German suplex. It almost puts Fatu on his head. Fatu does a senton bomb. Brother, you barely hit him with your head. A coast to coast from Jacob Fatu doesn't get it all. Kind of hits Alexander Hammerstone on the side. Kind of bugs me. Slingshot outside. Fatu hits his head on the buckle. That was incredible. That looked really good. Samael with a railroad spike in Alexander Hammerstone's throat. Again, looks amazing. It looks good. For them, I mean, they're hitting each other with tables and chairs and backflip this and all this stuff. Brother, slow it down. If Jacob Fatu punches you in the fucking mouth, I would sell that for fucking my rest of my life. If that man punched me in my mouth, I would be hurting about that for forever. If these guys just traded slugs, regular suplexes, just power scan, they could have got so much. I mean, because it's believable. Look how big they are. And when they're kind of doing bigger moves and, diving through the ropes, I just don't think that kind of fits out for how big they are. I know you want to appease the crowd, but I think if you just stand next to them and they punch each other in the mouth, that's crazy. These are 2 big-ass dudes. But, he gets to Hammerstone gets hit in the throat by Joseph Samuel with the road spike. Fatu moonsaults onto Hammerstone through a table. It covers him for the 1, the 2. Hammerstone kicks out and starts hulking up. On my life, this man starts hulking up. Bro, why? Where did this power come from? And he shakes the Contra flag. I get it, but if Jacob Fatu fucking suplexes you through a table, that should be an automatic 3 count. I did not like that he got up, because then he clotheslines Hammerstone, hits him with a neck breaker, and we get the new champ, Alexander Hammerstone. You got hit with a fucking spike in the throat and then got moonsaulted through a table, and you woke up out of that to hit this fool with a clothesline and a neck breaker, and that was the end of the match? I don't believe that shit. I'm sorry, dude. It was great until that. He literally did the fucking hulking up. I didn't want to see Jacob Fatu lose the title like this. I thought if he would have done it, I thought maybe Joseph Samuel messes up or something. That way, he loses the title but wants to beat up his fucking tag team partner or something. I don't know. But this just did not work for me like that. They should have slowed it down, went a lot slower, and beat the shit out of each other the way I think they should have. Who am I? I'm just a regular guy critiquing wrestling. These are two badasses that I would not say this to their face. But I'm just saying that's how I feel. I think you should have slowed it down a little bit and maybe gotten a little bit more out of it. I did not like Alexander Hammerstone hulking up at all. At all. Good guys, good wrestlers. They seem like fucking incredible badass motherfuckers that I wouldn't want no problems for. But I did not like the ending of this match. Slow everything down, please, for fuck's sake. But decent. I liked it, man. MLW is good. 1 hour show. I think a little tweaking here and there, they could really have it. I think the commentating was definitely the worst part about it. They should have slowed this main event match over. It should have been like King Kong versus Godzilla. Slow and steady. Beat the crap out of each other. Let's build it up. Meanwhile, they were kind of doing a lot of stuff early on. I think it could have lasted a long time. They gave an hour time limit with only like 30 minutes left in the show. It is what it is. But let me know what you guys think about it. MLW Fightland. We'll talk about it in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe. And if you like what you're watching, then hop in the Koffin. Follow us on social media at Koffin Radio. Koffin is spelled with a K. And that's all for today.
ASMR Koffin Radio.